also the army of Persia and Media. Isn't this exciting, my queen?
I don't particularly get what's so exciting about a bunch of men eating and drinking together for 6 months.
But my queen, all these men of such high authorities gathered together in one place must excite you just a little.
My husband may be King Ahasuerus of Persia, but I don't see him as all-powerful as he's made himself out to be.
My queen, you shouldn't say such things against the king.
I don't care. I can say whatever I want. I'm Queen Vashti.
Well, I find some of these men of authority quite handsome.
I.
You are just like these men, ridiculous.
My friends, I have spent these past 180 days showing you my kingdom's magnificence and splendor. Lastly, I would like you all to meet my wife, Queen Vashti. Go get my wife, Queen Vashti. I wish to show her to these men.
My queen, King Ahasuerus has commanded that you come and visit his banquet so he may present you to the noblemen.
He commands me, does he? Ha! That man thinks he can control me. I will not go to his party of noblemen so that I can be displayed as an engraved pillar. I refuse.
But my queen, please forgive me, but he will be furious. I couldn't. Please.
I don't care. Let him be furious. I will not come.
My wife, Queen What?
My king, Queen Vashti is feasting separately with the woman and has refused to come.
I'm sorry, it sounded like you said that my queen has refused my summons and will not come to the banquet.
Queen Vashti has refused to come.
That's hilarious. Get out! Not you. She refuses, does she? Me, King Ahasuerus. My queen refuses to come to my summons? Go get me the wise men, and we will discuss what is to be done with Queen Vashti. Go on. According to law, what is to be done with Vashti? Because she has refused me, King Ahasuerus.
Not against the king alone that Queen Vashti has done wrong, but against all the princes and against all the people and all the provinces of King Ahasuerus. If it seems good to the king, let a royal decree be issued from him, and let it be written among the laws of Persia and Media, which cannot be repealed, that Vashti may never again come in before King Ahasuerus.
Then she shall be deposed as queen.
Once King Ahasuerus had deposed Vashti as queen and his rage subsided, he sent out his servants to search for a new queen. They would be looking for beautiful young virgins throughout the land, and among those chosen, the king would select his new queen. This is where our story truly begins.
Here you are, Mordecai.
Thank you, my dear. I've noticed that you've grown up quite a bit since I took you in years ago.
Thank you. You seem troubled, Mordecai. Is there something the matter?
As I said, I've noticed that you've grown up to be quite a beautiful woman. I've even heard some of the men around here talking about you. The things they say are quite interesting.
Oh, Mordecai, we're Jewish exiles here. You and I both know that I would never even think about marrying someone who didn't share the same faith in Jehovah as us.
Yes, but even so, I'm still concerned for you. No one is perfect.
It's all right. You're the one who taught me Jehovah's laws in the first place.
Yes, maybe you're right. Maybe I should just stop worrying about you. Yet, I know that there will be a time when that conviction of yours will be put to the test. But when that time comes, I know you will do the right thing.
Yes,
King,
may I help you?
King Ahasuerus has requested that young virgins be searched for and brought to him to replace the now deposed Vashti.
One of these young virgins by the name of Esther lives here. Is she present?
I am Esther.
I must escort you to the palace of King Ahasuerus.
Do forgive me, but may I first say goodbye?
Quickly.
Esther, this is very important. You must promise me that you will not tell anyone that we are Jewish exiles, even if you trust them.
But why not?
Just promise me you won't.
Of course, I promise.
Thank you.
As you can imagine, I was terribly worried about the welfare of Esther. So day by day, I would make my way as near as possible to the house of the women and endeavor to learn of Esther's welfare. I knew that such a new atmosphere could have easily made her grow an obsession with personal appearance, like the other women around her. But what I was able to find out filled me with overwhelming fatherly pride.
Isn't this necklace beautiful? I just love it.
That one's pretty, but I personally like this one. Esther, would you like to come get some jewelry?
No, thank you. But you're welcome to join me by this water. It's so peaceful.
Oh, no thank you.
Anybody else want to join me?
Well, my place is here with the wonderful perfume. That perfume will not win the king's favor, but this one, however, will. What is with that Esther girl? She acts so ladylike and humble all the time. I like Esther. She's nice. Yeah, she's nice. She's annoying. Don't you agree, Alea? Sometimes. But she's also very kind. Alea, you're just jealous. How could I be jealous when I'm going to be picked? Yesterday, I saw him. I could totally tell he's falling in love with me.
No way, I'm gonna be picked.
None of you know what you're talking about. I, too, saw the king yesterday, and you should have seen the way he looked at me. I thought he was going to make me queen right then and there. Well, I'm the prettiest, so obviously I'm going to win.
I miss Mordecai. All that jewelry and perfume is so tempting. And I feel as if I should give that a lie girl that's coming to her. But I know these are all only temporarily worldly things. Please, Jehovah, give me the strength to endure.
Esther, come here a moment, would you?
Yes, Haggai?
When you go to meet the king, I suggest you wear this to win his favor.
Thank you, Haggai. I'm so dearly grateful for all the kindness you've shown me. But if I may ask, why have you been giving me such special treatment while I'm here?
Esther, you're different from the other women here. I can't say exactly what it is, but I'm sure the king will choose you to be queen.
Esther more than all the other women, so that she gained more favor and loving kindness before him than all the other virgins. Sometime after her coronation, I uncovered a secret plot to assassinate King Ahasuerus. I quickly passed on the message to the new queen, my dear Esther. She then obediently passed my warning along to the king and the plotters who were foiled. She still expressed faith in her God by showing a humble, obedient spirit. Everything seemed to be going well, but soon a bad man named Haman came to rise in prominence in the court of Ahasuerus. The king appointed him prime minister, making Haman his principal advisor and the second in command in the empire. The king even decreed that all who saw Haman must bow before him. But I could not bow down to a descendant of Agag, the Amalekite king who was executed by Jehovah's prophet Samuel. I believe in obeying the king, but not at the cost of disrespecting God.
Ah, Haman, my trusted advisor.
My king, may I ask you a question?
You may.
Have you noticed the growing rebellion in your kingdom?
What?
It has come to my attention that there is a certain troublesome people that are very separate and different from the others.
Go on.
I have noticed that they make a point of disrespecting your laws, of not disobeying you and your laws.
This is very troubling news. What would you suggest we do?
My king, I will pay for the expenses to eradicate these people. All I ask from you is the permission to let a decree be written that they be exterminated.
Thank you, Haman. Take this signet ring and take care of these rebel scum.
My dear Esther, you must intercede with the king. This evil plot against Jehovah and his kingdom must not succeed.
Mordecai, my cousin, I am scared. To appear before the king unsummoned would surely mean my death. Only if the king held out his golden scepter would my offense be spared. The king has not invited me to see him in 30 days. I fear I may have fallen out of favor with him.
My child, I know you are afraid. I am too. But if you fail to act, salvation for the Jews will arise from some other source. But how could you expect to be spared once the persecution gathers force? This must have been the reason why Jehovah let you become queen over this pagan empire.
In case I must perish, I must perish.
King Ahasuerus, Queen Esther wishes to speak with you.
Ah, Queen Esther. You may approach. What is it, my queen?
If it seems good to the king, let the king and Haman come to the banquet I have prepared for you.
Ah. Go get Haman and have him come as Esther requests.
Dad, what's wrong? Did something happen at the banquet?
No, the banquet was great. There's going to be a second one, in fact.
Well, if it wasn't the banquet, then what was it?
All of this fails to satisfy me since I saw that Jew Mordecai sitting in the king's gate. He refuses to bow to me, the king's advisor.
Well, you should make a stake that's 50 feet high and hang him on it.
No, 75 feet high.
Why not just let the decree handle it?
A 75-foot stake. Good idea, blue kid.
Well, since the king and queen have obviously found such favor with you, bring it up tomorrow at the next banquet.
Then the second banquet will be even better than the first, and the king and queen will respect you even more.
I don't know, I think you should be careful.
Don't worry, Orange Kid. I will immediately begin raising the stake.
Guard! Guard, I cannot sleep. Read me a bedtime story.
And thus Ignathana and Tirush, two court officials of the king, doorkeepers who had pledged to do his way with King Ahasuerus, were executed for their exposed actions. The next day...
Wait, stop. I know the affair, but not who exposed the plot. Who is he?
The man's name was Mordecai the Jew.
And what was done to compensate him for saving the king's life?
Nothing, my king.
Go get the highest court official you can find, so that we can correct this oversight.
My king, I came really to speak.
Wait, before you do, let me ask you a question. How do you think you could honor a man who has earned the king's favor?
To think that I, Haman, the king's advisor, would not only be invited to 2 banquets with just the king and queen, but also have the king ask me personally how he should honor me? I know exactly what to do. Well, my king, I think if the man has truly earned your favor, you should clothe the man in royal garb and have a high official parade the man through town, shouting out his praises for all to hear.
Yes, this is an excellent idea. Go take this to Mordecai the Jew. Do not leave out a thing you said.
Haman, why have you returned so early?
Did you get the steak raise? What's wrong?
It's a Jew Mordecai again. He tricked me. He tricked me into parading him through town and shouting his praises for all to hear.
Well, now that you've paraded Mordecai Jew around, your plan to exterminate his people won't work. I told you to be careful, Dad.
You were the one that told me to raise the steak.
That was me, Dad.
What is it?
I'm here to bring you to Queen Esther's banquet.
Now, Esther, whatever is the matter, I can wait no longer.
Well, if it seems good to the king, please help my people and die. They have been sold to be destroyed and killed. I should not have mentioned it.
Who would dare threaten my queen, let alone her people?
Yeah.
The man, the adversary, is this bad Haman.
Haman! Ah! My queen, please help me! Haman! Get away from my wife!
Guards! Take this evil man out of my sight!
My king, we've also found a stake that Haman intended to hang Mordecai on.
No.
Have Haman himself raised on the stake instead.
No, it wasn't my idea. It was my family.
Our God Jehovah gave Esther the courage, strength, and Holy Spirit to save the entire nation of his people. After Haman was exposed and hung, the decree he'd written was countered by Esther, and I to stop the attack of the Jews.
And now it's time for this old man to take a very long nap and leave everything in the hands of the more capable Queen Esther.